Hi guys, welcome to my sports world once again. It is the day after the Champions League. It's Thursday. We are looking back at what happened yesterday. So there's going to be multiple videos today. One is about this Champions League thing. One is about what some stupid fans and fake fans and ignorant fans are talking about, and also some of the pundits around the world, especially the ones on ESPN. So don't wait too long for that video to come up. It's coming soon. And we will also be looking ahead to the 49ers game this weekend. We'll see what we can decipher from what have happened the first 3 weeks, because we have a big game coming up this week against the Seahawks. So let's look at the game yesterday. It was one of those grit and grind games, and this is happening in football 90% of the time, 95% of the time. Only a few games in history is considered to be magnificent or spectacular or, above what everyone else. You have those 1 or 2 games maybe once a year or something like that, if that. Most games are grit and grind and hard work, and you fight to the end to win the game. Something both Chelsea experienced yesterday when they lost. Look at that. Chelsea lost. Damn. Don't hear Tuchel out, do you? Maybe you should. He lost the game against mediocre Juventus. On top of that, even Villareal would beat the Juventus. Even Manchester United would beat Juventus. So let's look at some specifics. The goal that Villareal got was because they had a great counterattack. And let me tell you, Villareal is not a bad team. They are a good team. Their records and their, the longevity of the records that you have seen and their stats explains that. They have some good players. They have good individual players, especially on the midfield. And they're hard to break down. They're a difficult team to play against, which proved when Atalanta only drew against them. And I want to maybe rank Atalanta a little bit higher than Villareal. But Villareal is a really good team. Don't take anything away from them. Yesterday, I think Villareal would have beat both Chelsea and Juventus. Their goal, 2 things: counterattack, and they're fast at it. They're fast. We didn't have our regular back line. I have to say that we really saw yesterday that how badly we missed Aaron Wan-Bissaka yesterday. I'm not taking anything away from Dalot. He's a good backup, but that's what he is. He's a backup. And sometimes you have to live with the consequences of using backups. You're not going to get the 110% shutdown performance. I think on the goal, he could have been more aggressive stopping the cross in. I know for a fact that Aaron Wan-Bissaka would have been down there sliding and tackle in and stopping the ball most likely, either then or right before. So you have to give Dalot some fault for the goal. And then I don't remember who it was on the first post. Maybe it was McTominay or Lindelof or something like that. So we became a little bit static on that goal, and we could see that out through the game. We were a little bit behind. The only one that and Varane made a mistake or two too, but for the most part he did good. But we could see that Varane was not comfortable with Lindelof. We saw that this game, and we saw that when Maguire had to go out earlier. The thing is, we don't know how long Harry Maguire is going to be out, and we have some important games coming up. So it was you can basically say that it was a counter that Dalot should have stopped before he got crossed in, but it didn't, and it didn't happen that way. So they scored a goal, and that sometimes that happens in football. Sometimes your opponent scores against you. I have to say one thing before I start going into the other ones. Man of the match for me was absolutely David De Gea. He was a living wall back there. And he was unlucky that he didn't stop the goal as well, because the ball hit his thigh but went through his legs after hitting his thigh. So that was kind of like a little bit unlucky on his part. But he was a living wall back there. I tell you, he was a living wall. And he is back to being the good old David De Gea that we know years and years ago. I want to say right now he's probably top 3 goalkeepers in the world. So, David De Gea, you got it, man. Let's look at the overall play. It was like I said, it was a grind out knuckle game, and some of the games this year has been that way. So this is how football is. Like I said, it's 90-95% of the time you grit and grind and you fight for a win. And we did it. And I mean, when you have 2 good teams, Villareal has qualified for Champions League because they are good. They're playing La Liga, so come on, they are a good team. It means they finished like what, top 4, top 5 in La Liga last year. So don't expect it to be like a walkover. And once again, Chelsea couldn't beat Juventus, and I think Villareal is better than Juventus. So, of course, you're going to expect that they will have some chances too, and you could probably say they should have 1 or 2 goals in them. So when you meet a team like Villareal, yeah, you're going to get your work is cut out for you. You have to be on top of things. We fought and we fought and we never gave up, and we got awarded for it at the end, and that's how it is. Now, I want to highlight one little thing here, and that is I've seen online, these clueless and ignorant fake fans with an agenda online on Facebook, and some of the fan channels here on YouTube. There's a couple of them. They are pounding this mantra over and over again, and they're saying like moments and individual brilliance and blah blah blah. If you don't know better, every moment in a game that is a deciding factor comes up after a certain amount of minutes played, and however it's played. So yes, you will always have a moment. Villarreal's goal is a moment. Our 2 goals is a moment. Juventus' goal against Chelsea is a moment. Every goal is a moment in the game. So spare me the bullshit. Goal number 1 for Manchester United was pretty darn spectacular. And I could see it right away that this was something they had trained on in the training ground. Bruno and Telles was standing by the ball talking. You could see them pointing, doing stuff. Telles moves away, finds his place. You could see that Bruno standing by the ball. Telles is in the back. Bruno is giving verbal instructions and screaming. He's probably telling other players, let the ball go, let the ball go. He's telling Telles they're getting close. And you can see small adjustments. You can see Telles doing some small adjustments. And then the ball comes in, and you can see that ball is deliberately towards Telles. It is on a cue to Telles. It was telegraphed. It had an address on it. And Telles, you could see him play, positioning his hips, his leg. He takes a little stutter step, and then just boom, hits the ball, full volley, furthest corner, trained on in the training ground, set piece, executed according to plan. So it was a plan. Oh, what does plan mean? Tactic. So set pieces are always part of tactics, and when you do something that you're trained on at the training ground and it works, good tactics. So if you as a fake fan, ignorant fan, clueless fan, sit there and say he doesn't have tactics, he has told his players, if we get a free kick in this area, this is what we're going to go with. They probably have 5 or 6 different options. There's up to the players to decide which one of those options they want. But always, as a pre-game prep talk thing, is if we get free kicks in and around the box, these are the scenarios we want to do. If we get them on the sides, we do a pass. If we get them in the front of the goal, go for a shot. Tactics. It's part of tactics. It's part of game plan. Too bad you're too fucking dumb to understand. So, and Bruno said it, and Teller said it. Yeah, we developed this on the training ground. We have been rehearsing this on the training ground. So, take that one and suck on it. Goal number 2 was a brilliant, brilliant goal. Just in case you didn't know. I see people say, oh, Fred was a disaster again. Fred only played 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes at most. He came on and he did darn good. Let me walk you through the goal number 2, which started with some balls being, played for back and forth, and at one point Cavani makes a challenge. He makes the guy a little bit wobbly on his steps and ball control. Cavani wins the ball away from him. Strong, and perfectly executed, as they have done probably on the training field. Cavani is a workhorse. He needs to be on the field sooner. He needs a full 45 minutes at minimum. He wins the ball. He plays it to Bruno Fernandes, who turns around and do a little pirouette thing or makes a little turnaround, passes the ball to Fred on the sideline. Fred looks up. Fred sees Ronaldo on the back post. Fred passes a perfectly timed and perfectly hit pass across into the 18-yard box, at the edge right there on the 6-yard box. Ronaldo goes up, heads it down to Lingard. Lingard comes meeting the ball, runs towards the ball. He knows that he's getting too far away from the goal. He puts a little tap on it back to Ronaldo, and Ronaldo just fires the ball into the net. That's a team goal. That is a team goal. You have Cavani, Fernandes, Fred, Ronaldo, Lingard, Ronaldo. That's a 6-step, 5 players build-up. And it all comes down to Cavani winning the ball in a tackle and a challenge for the ball. It wasn't a tackle, it was a challenge. And he challenged the player and he won the ball from the player. He played the ball to Bruno. Bruno turns around, sees Fred. Fred is wide open. Fred gets the ball. Fred looks up, takes a step, crosses the ball in. Ronaldo goes up, heads it down. Lingard see that Ronaldo is all alone. He also sees that he's past the front post. He just taps the ball back to Ronaldo, who shoots it in goal. And from a very narrow angle. Perfectly team goal. This is also training ground stuff. This is also part of tactics. And let me tell you, Lingard and Fred came on in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes of the game, because it depends on how long you include the injury time. Wasn't that tactics to get Lingard and Fred on in the end? Yeah. Was it tactics to get Cavani on? Yeah. It was. You can't argue with facts. If you want to be a dumb, ignorant, clueless fan who sits on YouTube and spew fake shit and hate and negativity, go ahead, but you're going to make a fool out of yourself. If you are a fake, ignorant fan, clueless fan on Facebook, and who posts out a lot of stupid posts on Facebook pages for Manchester United, go ahead. It makes you look like a fool and an idiot because you don't know the facts and you don't know what football really is. And sometimes it starts to think and wonder if some of these fan channels are real fan channels, or if they just have an agenda and it's all about making money based on subs. Maybe. That's maybe it. Maybe we have a bunch of fake fan channels out there for Manchester United. That was video number 1. I have more here that I'm going to talk about. So, see you in the next video, guys.